How to reduce stress, anxiety, and overcome phobias, depression, or any negative emotions simply by tapping. Today we will learn in this video. According to a research done by MHF, Mental Health Foundation, 74% of people across the globe are stressed, and out of which 33% feel extreme stress, 77% experience stress that affects their physical health, and 73% people have stress that impacts their mental health. And 48% of people have trouble sleeping due to stress. Now, isn't that number alarming? And the worst part is, according to the research, Indian professionals suffer higher stress levels than most workers globally. Now, why am I giving you these statistics? See, I'm not trying to scare you or stress you, okay, even more with these scary numbers. But by any chance, if you fall under the category of those 74% of the stressed population, it's not a good thing, my friend. But here comes the good news. Stress can be lowered to a very significant level or even zeroed down, and I will tell you how. Okay, see, because stress is not a disease, it's a condition that can be tackled and controlled. And I will not just give you, a theory about it, I will also demonstrate how to do it. I will do it with you and you can experience it for yourself. So watch this video till the end and let's get started. My name is Vaibhav Chunchire. I help people expand their consciousness through the principles of law of attraction. And I'm a coach, I'm an author of this book called My 2-Year-Old Teacher. So in this video, I will tell you how to reduce stress and even completely eliminate stress. Not only stress, it could be anything. It could be anxiety, depression, PTDS, phobias, insomnia, or even the physical pains or the problems that you might be suffering through, for long years. And all this can be done through a very simple and 100% proven technique called as Meridian Tapping, also very popularly known as EFT, which stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. Now, what is EFT or Meridian Tapping? So before we get into understanding the technique and how to practice, let me tell you a true story. Okay, this is a true story. So there was this woman, her name was Jackie, and she was from Canada. And she was going through a very, rough phase of her life. She was broke, wasn't earning enough, and she was not able to support her family. And she was switching jobs after jobs. Why? Because she wasn't doing well in her career. Now, because her job involved, talking to people, group of people or individual clients, or presentation on the stage or in front of people, and that was her job basically. And what her problem was? She used to get scared and she used to get anxious, and she could never perform well in her job because she had a phobia of talking in front of people. And eventually she became a victim of depression. And then one day she was introduced to this technique called as EFT, which is Emotional Freedom Technique. And after practicing this technique for just 4 days, she gave a speech spontaneously in front of a group of people, and it was so well received by the audience who were completely strange. And she got a standing ovation, and because she was standing right in front of these people, and those people applauded her for her powerful speech. Now tell me, in a matter of 4 days, if you can overcome such phobias, isn't that miracle? Right? By the way, did you know that the fear of public speaking is worse than the fear of death? And imagine this lady overcome this fear in just 4 days with the tapping technique. Not only that, she was also scared of snakes. She was also scared of snakes all her life, and she was asked to hold a snake. And since she knew this technique, she erased the fear. And she comfortably, picked that snake from the box and she took it in her arms. Isn't that crazy? By the way, I'm scared of snakes too. I feel creepy. Anyway, coming back. So what is EFT? What is this technique and how does it work? EFT was discovered by Gary Craig, the gentleman in the picture you see there, in 1990s, and this technique works on the same principles of the traditional Chinese, the acupressure technique you would have heard of, or those acupuncture. They put in some needles at certain points of your body. You would have heard about that, you would have seen somewhere. Now, Why do they do that? See, because our body tends to hold negative energy and negative emotions associated with that in those points, on the certain points of our body. And what happens is, when there is a negative energy in our body, no matter how many affirmations you do, no matter what technique you practice, if there is a negative energy inside you, you will vibrate at a negative frequency. And what's the result? The law of attraction simply doesn't work for you. Are you getting my point? So to make law of attraction work for you, you have to release those negative energies that are blocking the flow in your body by tapping on those negative emotions, associated with that. See, the word emotion stands for energy in motion. That is emotion. If you're confused, let me give you an example. Okay, everybody has seen pipes. Everybody know what pipes are, right? And inside of that pipe, say there is certain blockage. And when you know exactly where the blockage is, and if you hit that point, and if you start tapping on that block point, the point where the blockage is, the dust inside will release. And with the rush of water, the dust will start flowing and it will be completely flushed out of the system. And the water starts flowing again in full rush, and everything after that is just perfect, right? Okay, so let me give you another example. It just came to my mind. So you would have heard about people who have blockages in their heart. So it's not the blockage in their heart, it's the blockage in the artery or in the veins through which the blood flows to the heart for it to function and beat properly and keep us alive. Now, when there is a blockage in those veins and the arteries, the blood just doesn't flow, and that's where the problem starts. And problems like cardiac arrest and whatnot. And what do doctors do? With the help of angioplasty, I think the technique is called as angioplasty if I'm not wrong, they release those blockages at those points, and what happens is the blood starts flowing again and the heart starts pumping, right? And then what happens is all is well. All is well, right? That's what happens. Everything is right after that. Similarly, those negative emotions which are not good for us are blocked in certain areas in certain points of our body. You're getting my point? So what do? We don't have any angioplasty technique to free those blockages, right? But we have something called as EFT, which comes in handy here. Are you with me so far? Are we good? Now, how does EFT work? So there are certain parts of our body that are connected to meridian points. Everybody make a note of this, meridian points. Now, emotions like anger, which is stuck in your body, emotions like guilt is stuck in your body, regret is stuck in your body, fear is stuck in your body, frustration is stuck in your body, grief is stuck, jealousy is stuck in your body, no love is stuck in your body. You see, these are all negative emotions, right? And if these emotions are stuck in our body, how do you expect the human brain and body to function properly or at its fullest potential, right? Now, if you release these emotions and let the energy flow, through your body thoroughly, you will suddenly see your affirmations start working at 10x speed. And your attraction starts happening at 10x speed. And I guarantee you that. Does that make any sense to you now? Is it making any sense? Perfect. If you think this is a logical explanation for this technique, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon to never miss any video that I uploaded for you. Cool? So, are you ready? Are you ready to learn and practice this powerful technique called as Meridian Tapping or EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique? Cool. So the emotional freedom technique has to be practiced in these 5 steps and in the same order again. Okay. Now the warning. You cannot mix up the order. Just follow every step in the same order. Okay. Are we good? Cool. Step number 1. Identify the issue that you have. But here comes the important part. Identify the emotion behind that issue. Example, say you're struggling in your financial area of your life. Okay. So the emotion could be, afraid of losing money, scarcity, lack of money. Now these are the emotions. All right. That's step number 1. Step number 2. Measure how intense is the emotion on the scale of 0 to 10, 0 being the least and 10 being the worst or at a very high level. Okay. See, now this step is again very important to measure the intensity before tapping and after tapping. Cool? Are we okay? Right. Step number 3. Acceptance statement. You have to start by saying, even though I have this dash, I'm saying dash. In the dash, you have to say that negative emotion. All right. So it will be like, even though dash, whatever the negative emotion, I still love and accept myself the way I am. So in this case, it would be like, even though, I have a lack of money in my life, I choose to love and accept myself exactly the way I am. So that will be step number 3. Bringing to step number 4, the tapping sequence. Now there are 9 meridian points in our body where the negative emotions are stuck, or mostly where the energy is blocked, and that has to be flow. And those 9 points are: 1, this part. This is called as karate chop point. The fleshy part here, you see this here. That's number 1. Number 2, it's the top of your head. This part, the center of your head. Number 2. Number 3 is beginning of your eyebrows. You see the bone here. That's number 3. Number 4 is side of the eyes, where there is a bone here. This part. Number 5 is under the eye. You feel the bone here. That's number 5. Number 6 is under the nose. This part. And number 7 is chin. Not exactly chin, but between the lower lip and the chin. This part. Number 8 is beginning of the collarbone. This part here. Number 9 is under the arms. Not the armpit, but 3 or 4 inches just below here. On both the sides. These are the 9 meridian points that you have to remember. Now, how we practice tapping is, you have to start tapping from here, the karate chop point, right? This is the point where you have to start, tapping. You can use 2 of your fingers and start tapping. And while you are tapping, you have to say the 3rd step, which is saying the statement. Remember, 3rd step, start with, even though I have dash. You have to say your negative, energy that you have, and finish it by, but I still choose and love to accept myself exactly the way I am. And you have to say it 2 to 3 times, right? That's step number 4. Step number 5, check the intensity level. If it, for example, say if it was 8 at the beginning, it should have gone definitely down by some points. Just check what's the intensity level gone by. And you have to do this continuously, or you have to, just do these rounds till it is completely zeroed down. Cool? Are you with me? Let's practice this then. Are you ready to practice it with me? Are we ready? Cool? All right. So what's step number 1? First, identify the emotion behind whatever problem you have. So what is the problem? Say financial struggle. We'll go by that. Okay. So what's the emotion behind that? Try to catch that. Is it lack of money? It is scarcity, struggle, helplessness. All right. That's step number 1. Step number 2. Now rate the intensity of the emotion on the scale of 0 to 10. You can write your number in the comment box while you're watching this video. What is this? What's your intensity in that area? For example, you may have, feeling say 6 to 7 when it comes to your financial problems in life, right? That's step number 2. Write it in the comment box. So what's step 3? Acceptance statement. So let's form the statement, okay? And what's the rule? We always start the statement with, even though I have dash problem or emotion. So what's the problem here, or what's the emotion here that we are talking about, is lack of money. So you'll say, even though, start tapping here, even though I have lack of money in my life, I still choose to love and accept myself exactly the way I am. Let's do it. Do it with me. Now repeat with me once again. Even though I'm having scarcity of money in my life, I still choose to love and accept myself exactly the way I am. Even though I'm not able to make enough money and I feel helpless every time I think about money, I still choose to love and accept myself exactly the way I am. Right? Now, step number 4, tapping sequence. Start tapping from the top, and say that emotion at each meridian point. Just follow me and repeat after me. All right? Cool. Now tap on the center of your head, this part, right? Tap it with 1 hand or 2 hand, anything is okay. Financial scarcity, released. Tap on the beginning of your eyebrows, this part. All the stress about money, released. Side of your eyes, lack of money, released. Under the eye, my struggle to make money, released. Under the nose, my self-doubt about my ability to make money, released. Now between the lower lip and the chin, I can't make more than enough money, released. Now, beginning of the collarbone here, you see these two bones, feeling helpless when it comes to money, released. Under the arms, very limited money in my life, released. Same on the other arm, I can't afford things because of lack of money, released. Take a deep breath now. Now tell me, what's the intensity of that emotion? Has it gone down? If it has, by how much? Put that in the comment box. Right. See the number before tapping and number after tapping, right? I would love to see those numbers. Just mention those numbers. What numbers was before and what's the number now after doing this practice. So you have to do this, till the number is completely zeroed down. Okay. I promise you will feel less stressed. Don't worry. It's a very simple. You do this regime for 2 times, you will remember the tapping sequence very easily. Don't worry about that tapping. Remember, we always go by, that statement while we are chopping here that, even though I have dash problem, I still love and accept myself exactly the way I am. Start with that. Start tapping on your meridian points and we are good to go. And always try to measure the intensity that you have between the scale of 0 to 10. Alright, cool, perfect. Now, let's do this for a different emotion now, okay? Are you ready? Say the problem is you're having trouble sleeping and you can't fall asleep easily, right? So do this, come on, do it with me right now, okay? Firstly, rate the intensity of the problem. You have it from the scale of 0 to 10. That's right, step number 2, remember? Okay, put it in the comment box, what the intensity of the sleeplessness that you have. Now repeat with me this point, okay? Start tapping. Even though I have trouble falling asleep and I feel stressed, I still choose to love and accept myself exactly the way I am. Even though I know I'm overthinking and I have a bad habit of staying up late and that is making it difficult for me to sleep, I still choose to love and accept myself exactly the way I am. Right? Now tapping. Sleeplessness, released. Overthinking, released. Stress caused by not sleeping well, released. Anxiety due to very little sleep, released. Under the nose, poor lifestyle causing sleeplessness, released. Between the lower lip and the chin, this part, worrying too much about problems and not able to sleep, released. This part, worrying too much about my future and not able to sleep, released. Bad sleeping patterns, released. On the other hand, poor sleeping patterns, released. Take a deep breath again. Right. How are you feeling? Now tell me what is the number. Put it in the comment box. I need to know what's the intensity level. Now you have to do this, till the number reduces to 0. See, thing is, I have released the emotion, whatever thoughts or, whatever I thought, what are the common reasons for sleeplessness. And I tried to release those emotions only. You can be very specific. If you know the exact problem, in fact, you will know what emotion you are feeling for that problem. Just catch that emotion behind that and start tapping. See, don't worry, even if you have only 1 or 2 emotions. I said like 9 different emotions at 9 different points. Even if you have 1 or 2 emotions, keep repeating the same emotion and start tapping on each point. See, the idea is to free the negative emotion that is stuck and that is causing the problem. Alright? Okay. So, hope I was able to make you understand, and teach this extremely powerful technique. Now, can I tell you one secret to make this technique work 100% for you every time? Are you ready to know the secret? Here it is. Believe. Believe that this technique works for you every single time. Not because I am saying it, not because science has proven it, not because you want to try it for the heck of trying it. No. You have to believe that it works absolutely and very effectively and see how law of attraction works in your life. So with this, we come to an end of today's topic. But before I sign off, I would like to recommend you something very, very strongly. Okay, I recommend you to watch this movie because I personally have watched this movie and I was like flabbergasted. So there's this movie called The Tapping Solution, which is freely available on YouTube. You will also see the footage of that lady Jackie that I was talking about in the beginning of this video, who gave a speech, in front of strange people, and she was holding the snake for the first time and she was not scared. You will witness that in the movie. It's a beautiful documentary to watch. What they did was, they brought 10 people from different parts of the country who had, issues like anxiety, anger issues, PTDS. PTDS is post-traumatic stress syndrome, people who are not able to come out of certain traumatic events from their life, and they live in those moments after that, and they kind of hurt themselves physically and emotionally. In fact, there is a very miraculous success story of this particular issue in the documentary PTDS. And there are all sort of issues they are treated, they had. So what they did is they treated them with this EFT for 4 days, and by end of 4th day they all came out as a different person altogether, an improved version of themselves. See, it's a very inspiring movie. You must watch it. I suggest you that. See, now this particular technique is something that not everybody knows. A very few people talk about this technique. Even some of you might have heard it for the first time, right? If you have heard it for the first time, just type in EFT in the comment box, right? So this is called as EFT or Meridian Tapping, right? So do you see, stress and anxiety are one of the most serious and critical and urgent issues that 74% of people on this earth face. Yet the most ignored problem which actually needs immediate attention. Because stress and anxiety are the roots of the most of the problems in the life, and people get hurt deeply, emotionally and physically. And I would like to take this opportunity to help all those people who are struggling to fight stress and anxiety. And I think it's high time to spread this information to tens and thousands of people who are suffering from this serious issue. Because I have seen people overcome from fear that they had for years together. In fact, I have had read about true success stories like people stopped smoking who had been smoking for 10 years. People with chronic back pain got relieved of pain, and the pain never returned. People overcoming fear of darkness forever. If this is not magic, then what is? Remember, stress is not a disease. It's a condition that can be tackled and that can be controlled. So please feel free to share this video for the people who you think need help, with an attempt to contribute to help people better their lives. This is Vaibhav Chinchure signing off. Peace out.